What's up, guys? MC Stu here, and today we're going to take a look at one of the changes to the fleets that was just made, specifically SROs at the embassy holding. Let's jump into it. All right, so for those that are unaware, in the past, non-Romulan tunes could only basically get tactical officers that were SROs. SROs are a bridge officer, and I'll just show you here, and then we're going to actually beam down, and I'm going to pick up the ones that I've been waiting to do. So I have two tactical ones. Most ships are only going to have, two tactical slots. I mean, some like this one I could put a third on, but that doesn't make sense because I need other, class abilities. So most of the time you're kind of capped at two with only having tactical officers. Now with the change that they made, we're supposed to be able to get all the other classes for our bridge officers. So if we take a look at their trait, just in case you're unaware, Superior Romulan Operative gives you plus 2% critical chance in space, plus 5% critical severity. This is huge when you have 5 bridge officers and it stacks up. Romulans have always had an advantage because they're able to purchase these basically right off the exchange. There's DOF missions that will reward those. You also pick some up just going through your tutorial and storyline. So all other factions, if you rolled a direct Fed or direct KDF, you were unable to get anything other than what the fleet offered. So I've been pretty pumped about that. Like I said, I like to do a little min-maxing on my main here, and regardless, I like to do as best as I can, even if I'm not min-maxing. And so being able to pick up this stuff is it's a good way to boost your overall damage output, and that can be for science, anything. I mean, it's just straight crit chance, crit severity. So now we have the ability to fully outfit our bridge crew with that. So I'm in the New Romulus system, so you can just directly come here. You can also transwarp, or if you're at your fleet starbase, you can shuttle from one to the other. But I'm going to go ahead and beam down to the embassy. So what I'm going to do is basically show you guys for Fed. I think on KDF, the consoles are organized just a little bit differently, so you'll have to kind of run around and take a look at that. But I'm going to beam down, and I'm going to head across the hallway here over to the turbo lift, and we're going to take this up to Ops. All right, for Fed characters, you're going to come out, you're going to make a right, and you're going to go around this to about, I don't know, it's at 1:30, 2 o'clock or so. It's this console right here. All right, so let's take a look. So there were some changes, and let's just talk about that before we purchase these. So in the past, the rare male tactical duty officer would come as a superior Romulan operative. It currently is coming as, there's 3 different versions. There's basic, Romulan operative, and superior Romulan operative. And so the stats that I showed you a moment ago, they'll vary depending on what tier it is. When you purchase this, it would automatically go to a very rare version and basically give you the superior Romulan operative. That was not supposed to be happening. It had been happening for longer than I played the game, but they did decide to fix it, and along with that, they added these other classes. So you can see if you look at my roster here, my Romulan operatives, I have 2 of them. They are very rare, and I did not purchase them like that. I purchased them as rare. Now, the nice part of that bug is that the rare are a lot cheaper than the very rare. So if you're rolling a new character and you were just planning on getting another 2 again, and you don't really care so much about grabbing all the rest of them, it is going to cost you twice as much now. So that is a bummer, but it was clearly incorrect. You can see here in the list, this is blue, and the ones I just showed you are purple, and that's just not the way it was supposed to be. So now, granted, it was like that for half a decade. So I mean, at that point, we've become used to those things. That is the way it is. So that does kind of suck, but I understand. All right, so what I'd like to have for my main character here is I want to have basically 2 of each. So I already have 2 tactical superior Romulan operatives, and I want 2 engineers and 2 science. That'll cover all the different kinds of potential builds that I want to put together. So these are a little bit pricey. I did move over some dill from one of my other characters, so I have enough. I should have enough to cover all of this here. So let's just go ahead and kind of look through some of these. You want to make sure you're reading through. So this has superior subterfuge, so that's not what I want. This one here has superior subterfuge, so let's jump down here to these engineers. And this has superior Romulan operative. This is a Romulan male. And we have here basically a female version. So they're giving you each of each kind of flavor in male or female. And I apologize, guys. I just woke up from a long old man nap and I am feeling terrible, but I'm like wide awake. So I'm like, I might as well work on some of this. And I've been really looking forward to getting these bridge officers. So if I sound a little off, that's why. It's a couple hours after my rant video of the nerf on some of those consoles and stuff. Right after that, I'm like, I have to go lay down. But anyways, back on track here. So why don't I go, I'm going to go and just pick up a female and a male. We'll mix it up a little bit. So I'm just going to confirm again, this has superior Romulan operative, and it is an engineer. So let's go ahead and buy that. Okay. And we are going to pick up the female. Double check, it's superior Romulan operative. These are expensive, so make sure you're double and triple checking on this stuff. All right, and then we need 2 science characters. And superior Romulan operative female, and this is the male superior Romulan operative. Perfect. Okay, so did that, and we got that. Now, something to note, you see how this is all blacked out now? I can't buy anything else, and I'll just show you. So I'm going to click, and it says you do not have enough... I don't have enough fleet credits. Well, it was all blocked out for me when I first got here, and I clicked on it, and it said that I did not have enough room for those items. And so I was a little bit confused because I looked at my lineup here, and I have all these duty officer slots. Well, they don't go here when you buy them. They will kind of pop up like that one I just minimized. What you need to do is go and look in the stations portion here and then look at your bridge candidates, officer candidates, and click on show. You can only have a maximum of 15 in here. I had 15 when I first came down here just to check that everything was here before I started the video, and all of the stuff was blocked out. It said I didn't have enough room. So I needed to remove some of the bridge officers that I had in the roster here before I could purchase the other ones, because it drops them in right here. So once they're here, I can go, okay, I'm going to hover over this guy. This is the male science character, and I am going to commission him. And I normally, what I'll probably, and I'll go back and probably do this later, but normally what I'll do is I'll go in and I like to, this is me personally. Some of you guys might run a role play or have something that's more canon or whatever, but, you know, I'm going to have SRO Psi 1. I know it's boring, but the you know, your list can get kind of big, and so that just makes it a little bit easier. So he is now commissioned, and there he is. So I just will go back in here, and I'll do this off video, but I'll just do exactly what we did and just commission the rest of these. But now I will be able to put a larger, fully outfit my crew with bridge officers that have, you know, that superior Romulan operative trait. There are some, like the Krenim ones, that might make more sense for mixing in for science and things like that. So I'm not saying everybody go out and just fill it out, but it really wouldn't hurt to, other than the resources. But there are, you know, instances where you might want to use something maybe a little bit different than that. So I just want to be clear. Most of you guys probably watching this, if you clicked on the title, are familiar with these and you know, and what they're all about here. So I'll just show you once I equip this, and then that should wrap it up for today. So but this is basically showing you, you know, why and what changed and how to go and pick those up. So these are going to come from your fleet holding the embassy. So let's go ahead and take a look at where we're currently sitting. So right now I'm at 50 critical chance, and I'm at 188 critical severity. Okay, so I'm just going to swap out the science here with... Now, for some reason, sometimes these don't show up right away, and it's really... Okay, it did, but sometimes if you're on ground and you went to go do this, what you change the name to, it might be the original name that it came with, and you need to change instances so you can see whatever you change the name to. So I'll run into that when I'm on ground, and I'll try and slot it on ground, and I don't know which one it is because I didn't look to see what name it was that it just automatically generated, because I changed it to SRO Psi 1. So if you're finding that where you're like, I changed the name, I don't know which one it is, beam up to space, change instances, and you'll see it there. So let's go ahead and slot them and go back over to the stats here. And now I have 52.9 and 193. And I'm going to be slotting 2 more of those. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to be at 56.8 and I'm going to be at 100 or 203 on this build just by adding those 2 officers. So I've been really looking forward to that because with a lot of the higher end, you know, coordinated runs, I always felt like I was at a disadvantage to others that had, alien or Romulan aliens, Romulans in general, because they could have all of those. And for most, that's not a big deal. I mean, we're really talking about the min-max here, but there are a lot of people that aren't min-maxing, but they want to do as best that they can with what's available to them. And this is now available to you without spending real life money. You can just buy it in game for, the resources that you accumulate. So, all right, guys, I hope that was helpful. Let me know what you guys think about that. I am super pumped about this. Is one of the changes that I mentioned in the previous video that I was pumped about and we would be covering. So that's just a short how-to. Outfit your character that is not a Rom. You could do the same thing with a Romulan. Let's be clear and make sure we touch on that. If you are a Romulan character, do not do this. You can do it, but don't do it, because you can go buy these duty officers off the exchange. You'll have to sift through it for a couple million EC maybe, and you should already have a few in your lineup. So check what you already have in your roster. Look on the exchange before you go this route, because a couple million EC is much easier to come by than 40,000 to lithium and 160 fleet marks. So if you are a Romulan character, don't do this. Check and see what you have first. Check the exchange before you go this route. All right, guys, that covers it all for now. There's a lot more that they've dropped in on us for updates, some pretty exciting stuff, and we'll be covering that over the next couple days. Let me know what you think about this change here, if you like it, if it's like whatever, or are you going to fill out your entire crew with it? What are you going to do? Let me know. Until next time, appreciate it. Have a good one. Hey guys, appreciate you watching. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, ring the bell, and sub to the channel for the latest news updates and how-to guides.